This time in the Prop Master, well, I'm making this video to convince you to follow along with my next project. I mean, that and the fact that YouTube said that if I didn't upload a video ASAP, they were going to demonetize my entire channel. So, I mean, there's also that. And what is that next project? Well, I'm going to take some of you back to your childhoods, and we're going to make one of these. Well, not one of these. This is a tiny little floppy sword-shaped foam object. It's got terrible balance, but with how little it weighs, it doesn't really matter. No, we're not making one of these. Instead, we're going to make one of these. This is a sparring sword made of foam. It's the same size as a hand-and-a-half sword. It's the same weight as a hand-and-a-half sword. It's got fantastic balance. It's extremely durable. And it's a lot of fun. But you know what? We're not even going to make one of these. We're going to take the same techniques that I used to make that, and we're going to make one of these, a sparring lightsaber. Okay, so there's your introduction. Now the question is, why should you follow this next project? Well, let's say you want to go to a con or a Halloween party or costume contest, and the character you want to portray carries a lightsaber. Well, you obviously have a lot of choices to choose from. But now let's say it's a more obscure character, or maybe you're just going to be there for a couple of hours and you don't want to spend that kind of money on, this character. Well, that's the perfect time for a foam lightsaber. The price difference between this and this is quite a bit. Now, add to that, if this is an obscure character, or if they carry a more complicated lightsaber, now you're talking a big difference between something like this and this. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 versus $400. Also, even though these are commonly used for sparring, that's actually still pretty hard. And there are some places that might not let you in with something like this, but will let you in with a foam lightsaber. Another reason is that when you're actually sparring with someone and you hit them in the hand or the shoulder or the shin with something like this, it hurts. And so I end up holding back when I'm sparring, and that is not as much fun as it could be. So what usually ends up happening is you end up putting on some sort of protection, and that's also not as much fun. This, on the other hand, you don't have to worry about it. Now, don't get me wrong, if you get hit in the hand with this, it stings. It does hurt. But if you wear some construction gloves or just any kind of light duty gloves, that's all you need for protection. Well, probably some eye protection wouldn't be a bad idea either. But that's just a lot more fun than sparring with these. So not only is this good for cosplay, but it actually can be very helpful when training in a competitive fencing sport when you don't want to put on all that protective gear. So you're asking, can you really use this in training? Absolutely. Let's talk about how durable these are. So this is about 7 years old, believe it or not. However, I made this for my daughter and she immediately decided that she was never going to use this in anger. So this has never been used to spar. Unfortunately, these will wear over time. Also, unfortunately, I don't have a bunch of other lightsabers to show you how they wear. But I do have some foam swords, which are made the exact same way. This is a little less than a year old. And it's had heavy use that whole time. This is what they look like with heavy use after about 5.5 years. And this is what it looked like brand new. And this is the amount of damage you can expect after about a decade. So they do take wear, but it holds up well for, a good 10 years of heavy use. And well, by heavy use, this is what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm not trying to show any techniques or anything here, just trying to show you the kind of punishment that these could take. And so if you don't think this looks like punishment to you, let's take a look at some of it in slow motion. As you can see, these are stiff enough to work with the bind, and that's going to be extra important for lightsabers. But even with these being so stiff, you still don't have to worry about thrusting. So I hope this has convinced you that you want to go ahead and follow along with the next video. Don't worry, I was already working on it. I just had to break away from it for a little bit to make this one, but then I'll get right back to it. And if I did convince you, then go ahead and make sure you're subscribed and click that bell so that you're notified as soon as it comes out. Oh, which lightsaber am I going to be working on in the next video? You're going to have to wait till then to see. Speaking of that, I really do need to get back to it. So until I see you again, thanks.